Hello and welcome back to Versus. I am so excited, and it's not just because Henry's back.
I'm sure it's not. Yeah, it's a very exciting matchup this week, I think.
Yeah, super excited to be seeing a new deck that I've not seen before. I've not seen anything really like it, to be honest. So it's going to be fun to see it happening. Artistax Battlebots going up
Yeah.
against Simic Eldrazi. I have played against Simic Eldrazi a couple of times, so I'll go through that deck briefly before I hand over to you as the recent enjoyer of all things made of metal and magic.
Or Love and Artifact.
So Simic Eldrazi, the game plan is play some big things with tentacles as soon as possible, essentially. So we're going to be ramping to big spaghetti monsters. To help us do that, our points are Sol Ring, Mox Emerald, Mox Sapphire, and Urza's Saga. But yeah, there's a load of mana dorks, a load of mana acceleration for Eldrazi's. Sammi loves herself some spaghetti monsters, as the playmat suggests, and that is the plan.
Definitely.
Right, over to you, Henry. Talk us through
Yeah,
it.
so Cass is playing this Artifacts Value Stacks Battlebots pile. It's just got every single artifact value card in there. Some big artifacts, some affinity for artifacts, some artifact synergies. And the points are on Sol Ring, Mana Crypt, Tolarian Academy, and Urza's Saga. So some pretty standard artifact points.
Yeah, nice.
Missing Tinker, glaringly, but I don't think there's any combo here. So I think we're just going for pure value.
Love it. Just what like is that a fair artifacts list?
I wouldn't call
No,
it fair. There's some of the
absolutely not.
affinity cards aren't particularly fair, but no, it's more of a value deck than it is a combo deck
Yeah,
by the looks of it. Yeah, but there's some really exciting cards in here. I'm looking to see some new ones with Mendicant Core, if I'm getting that right. They're from Aether Drift, making copies, and
I don't even remember that. What?
it's the Azorius Star 3. That when you've got max speed, you can pay 1 whenever you cast an artifact to get a copy.
Ah, nice.
Very cool card. I've seen that do some cool things in standard. Um,
Wow, standard playable as well. No, I do
yeah,
remember it now. Um,
yeah,
Pretty sweet. Well, we've got a lava spur boots just to give
yeah.
anything haste and a little bit of protection.
And counts for 1 for affinity, importantly.
Oh yeah. See, I'm not going to get my head around that. Oh,
Yeah,
we've got a land that does that too. There.
yeah. Oh, look, here's another one that
That is a
is
very
affinity.
early winter orb.
A very early winter, a very quick start here.
But like, is that a good time to play it? Because it's hurting Cass, like probably more than it's hurting Sammy.
Yeah, I'd agree at this point. Looking at the rest of Cass's hand, that's removal spell. I can't quite make out what that card on the front is. That one? It's a mirror of some kind. Um, can't quite work it out from here.
I'm trying to look through the list to see if I can find it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing a quick look as well. But yeah, we've got that
Is it
basic.
not Memnite? Is it Memnite? No, it's
Memnite.
not Memnite.
But yeah, we've got that basic to follow up the Winter Moon or Winter Orb. So it's not all bad news for Cass.
I mean, it's very possible that Cass wasn't aware of what Sammy was doing
Oh, definitely.
here as well.
This is Sammy's off to the races here.
Well,
Manador.
we said we wanted to be playing Eldrazi as early as possible. Well, this is a 3-drop, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah, it's a 3-drop on turn 3. But there's significantly more other things going on. So
There are probably scarier Eldrazi that Sammy could slam than a
I
reshaper.
think I've just spotted a defense grid in Cass's hand, which isn't the best card in this matchup.
doesn't
Sammy's
seem
not trying
good.
to do too much in other people's turns. But this metalwork is.
That's a broken card.
Oh, yeah. Looking at Sammy's mana dorks and then looking at this metalworker.
That does all the job of all of them.
represents-
Yeah.
Represents a lot of mana.
You do kind of play your hand revealed, but I think that's a price you're willing to pay when you can
Oh,
just cast it
definitely.
all
You get to do the fun thing of tap my metalworker, show you my hand, ask if you want to concede.
and then dump it.
Yeah,
Just here they are. Oof.
yeah. I've been playing an artifact pile in standard at the moment. It's more of a combo pile, but yeah, I love me some artifact synergy.
Especially when there's a control slant to it, right? Because that
Yeah,
deck in
definitely.
standard you're playing is an is it control
Yes, yeah,
artifact list.
yeah. With the combo finish. Yeah, I used to play artifact synergy deck with artifact sacrifice with the goblin from uh, Kamigawa. The sacrifice, pay one, sacrifice an artifact, make a 3/1 with haste.
Oh, nice. Yes, love that card.
Here's some of this non-artifact stacks coming in. It's
Ooh, we've got balance, but we've got mana in our mana pool
yeah,
because we revealed enough from the metal worker. So that's a bit of a mistake there.
yeah,
Player who controls the field stand cannot sacrifice any this way, and then all players equalize cards in hand. So you get to draw two, but then and then creatures in the same way.
Okay, so
You have to sack 3 creatures.
yeah, and you need to discard 2 cards.
Okay.
Okay.
yeah. I think getting rid of either these mana dorks or this matter reshaper is probably quite good here.
I'll do that last.
It's an interesting decision. Unfortunately, Sammy has just thrown away a Quackle.
These 3.
Yeah, I would.
Oh no,
Trigger.
we're
An
keeping the
interesting
flyer.
keep.
I'll put that in my hand.
Cool, matter reshaper.
Matter reshaper is very
Doing the
cool.
thing.
Yeah.
Balance is a fair card.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty fair. It's inherently fair. It's balanced.
Yeah. Well, and in this instance, it was very balanced. I mean, Sammy lost a few creatures, but Cass lost a couple of cards as well.
What's cast capped here? The artifact card I couldn't quite place.
It looks like the other one is a Voyage Home from the recent
Yes.
set, which is a draw 3, gain 3, I think it is.
Yeah, with affinity for artifacts.
Yeah.
So you ideally want it at blue white, draw 3, gain 3.
That's it, and it looks like we are there.
I think at the minute we're at 3, 4 artifacts, so
we've
it'd be
got
a 3
4
mana
artifacts.
draw.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a card in progress. I'll add
It's a static orb. That's the card I
There we
couldn't
go.
quite recognise. I'm sure that was revealed last turn, but I just wasn't paying attention.
You were too busy talking about your is it list in standard that you
Yeah,
love.
that I love and I'm very excited about, and it's not very good. But yeah, here's
We
that
do get
Voyage
the
Home.
2-mana Voyage Home.
We did recognise that one successfully.
Huzzah! Well, this one's in a set that I've been
Yeah,
drafting a ton
yeah,
recently.
yeah. This one's in the latest draft set that we've been playing. Yeah, here we go. It's just the I'm going to make lots of artifacts very quickly, and so yeah, we got 6 on our affinity for artifacts. There's a lodestone golem, I believe that is.
Ooh, love it.
then I will use one of it.
Yeah, very cool.
I don't
Sojourner's
recognise this
Companion.
one.
It's an MH2 card.
Oh, it's
It's a
free.
common from MH2. Yeah, it's 7 mana, affinity for artifacts with 4/4.
In your end step,
But it has artifact land cycling, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a sweet card.
I'm going to cast Eldrazi Confluence, giving this
Turns out I was wrong about that defense grid from earlier.
and this plus 3 minus 3.
We're seeing an instant from Sammy's side.
Ward,
So we do have Ward.
And the
I
ward's
think
been paid for.
I think we might have messed that one up as well, right? Because we've targeted it twice
Um,
to give it plus 3 minus 3 twice, and I think we only paid the Ward once.
yeah, so I think the ward would have to happen twice.
So we plow on, but I think we've missed.
Small mistake, but
Yeah. These things happen.
yeah.
I'll take a 2.
I will be taking 2.
Right, we're not seeing many battle bots.
No, we're not seeing many of these creatures. This list of 25 creatures. Although not all of them are attacking creatures. I'll give that.
Do you know whether this is actually like an archetype that other people are playing in Canlander, or this is
Battlebots, definitely, yeah. It was, I think, a little bit bigger a while ago, but
okay?
it still definitely exists. I think with Aether Drift coming out, there's the little pickup. There's a few good artifacts in that. But yeah, generally, most of the broken artifacts are quite old.
Yeah.
Here's one of them.
Yeah, true. The infinite monolith.
Yeah.
So, I guess the artifacts that I'm used to seeing, because I pretty much only see and play Magic in the Nottingham meta, are just artifact combo decks.
Yeah,
I've
that's
not
like
really seen much of this style of an artifact deck, which is really sweet. So it's part of the reason why I was excited to see it.
yeah, this style of artifact deck's definitely got some good pickups recently with Kappa Cannoneer from Kamigawa.
Yes.
You've got Frogmere Enforcer from MH3. You've got, what else have we got here? Liberator, Urza's Battlethopter, very cool card from Brothers War.
Oh yeah.
You just get them sprinkled about in all these sets. You never really have loads of really, really good ones come out in one go. But specifically with the Horizon sets, we got Thought Monitor, Thoughtcast. No, Thoughtcast is older than that, but Thought Monitor's
That was the set
the
that
creature
had
version.
it had an affinity sub-theme, didn't it?
Yeah. MH2, one of the draft archetypes was Azorius Affinity.
Yeah, nice.
They can still do things even when they're tapped.
We do have a Primeval Titan here resolved on board. We've gone to get an Urza Saga and an Ayab Ugin.
Yeah, a pointed card and another powerful card in Sammy's deck.
Yeah.
It's very nice seeing a Primeval Titan come down for value and not just to win the game.
Yes.
As someone who used to play Modern and is waiting for a suitable time to get back into it, it's nice seeing a Primeval Titan not just represent lethal.
Makes sense. I mean, it's just now I can pretty much cast any Eldrazi that I draw.
Oh, definitely. And then if it lives, we get to see it go again.
I can just tap this.
Yeah, well, it seems like Cass is doing a super lot of things. There's not a huge amount going on.
Speaking of not much going on.
Yes, yeah, but I think that's what Cass wants, really, is not much going on.
Slow it down. The issue is that once Sammi does get to just cast a big monster,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter because it only has to be one thing attacking.
Yeah, you only have to untap 1 15/15.
Yeah. With Annihilator 9
Yeah.
million.
Although keeping this Urza Saga from making constructs is probably quite good.
Yeah, so interesting decisions. I guess it's kind of cool just introducing those decisions of right, what do you want to untap? What's the game plan?
I agree with untapping the Fan Dynamo, but I would have probably untapped the Urza Saga over the Waste.
Yeah, so
Because they do functionally the same thing of tap for colorless.
the Urza Saga is just a better version, isn't it? It gives you
Yeah,
more
it just
options.
gives you the option to make a big creature.
We've just made a 1/1 with a warping whale.
Yeah, I'd have probably held on to that to counter a sorcery, but that extra mana might come in useful in Eternal
Gets
too.
stuck as well.
I mean, it suggests that there's something super scary in Sammy's hand.
Untap. I can only do two things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose this.
Because it's like we mentioned the fact that Sammy just about got enough mana to do whatever she wanted, and then that
Yeah.
orb came down and said Nathan was lying all along.
Oh yeah.
Tap it for mana.
Nathan famously known for lying.
Yep, I'm a scumbag.
Sacrifice it.
Yeah. See what Sammy goes for here.
So again, we're just adding mana with this thing
I'm gonna get Soul Ring.
Yeah, just adding mana. Sorry.
and grabbing a soul ring. This is going to be big.
It's like watching a Commander game with Soul Rings on both sides of the table. I'll take that back. This is nothing like
No,
Commander.
it really isn't.
It's much better in every way.
But it's not very often you see two soul rings against
No.
each other in a Canlander match. Thinking about it,
Yeah, we've got 12 mana currently, and there's still a land to play.
what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? I'm excited for it. Come on.
2, 3, 4,
How high are we counting?
5, 6, 7,
7, 9,
9.
10, 11.
11.
Oh, I forgot about the Ivy again.
I'm gonna cast Ulamog.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So cast 11. So you will exile half of your library rounded up.
So I've got 1, 2, 3,
We're exiling half the library,
9, 10, 11.
and then Ulamog gets counters equal to the biggest mana value,
Very easy. So I just
and Annihilator X equal to that mana value.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Cass is doing this the smart way of counting everything that she's taken off the top of her deck to figure out what's left.
But subtracting from 100's real hard.
Oh, I don't know. I can do it sometimes.
Depends on the number.
Yeah. 1, I could do that one.
All right.
That's 99.
Oh, I love the fact that you proved it to me.
Yeah. When we get up to like 7 or 8, out the window.
You're definitely not 99. Can't do that one.
No, I get stuck on that one.
We are counting
Once-
these cards in 5s, it looks like.
Yeah.
Can I look through?
And there's 40 cards gone.
Mana cost is then how many +1/+1?
And so now Sammy's trying to find how big the biggest thing is.
Which
And
in a
there are
Affinity for Artifacts
yeah,
deck,
that's
it's,
true.
pulled out a 7 drop there. I think that's the highest.
There's probably
There's
not
a
much that beats that.
9 with Aethersworn Sphinx. But I think, yeah, it's pretty much 7 unless you hit the Aethersworn.
Looks like we are sticking at 7. So it's just a 14-14 with Annihilator 7.
Thank you for 6.
See, 7 out of 7, I can do that.
Oh, you're a genius. They really should let you graduate from school.
Yeah, they did actually.
Oh,
Yeah. I now work building this country's roads and other infrastructure.
they're roads, yeah.
Decisions.
That explains a lot. There's potholes all over
Yeah.
the place in this country.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I think I might. I will block it, and then I will take 3.
Yeah, so it doesn't look particularly good for Cass right here.
Yeah, not looking great.
Sammy's got a lot of big things in play. This Ulamog's not looking particularly friendly.
I'm just waiting for it to attack and see what gets
Yeah.
annihilated. Annihilation.
And then I'll play a Breeding Pool tap. Pass.
What's it got at the minute? It's it's got Annihilator 7. That's
Yep, don't worry about it.
Each player who has cast a non-artifact spell this turn can't cast additional so only
Not a
one.
problem. I don't think Sammy's planning on casting any more spells, to be honest.
no.
Board, sacrifice 2 permanents.
Trample as well.
It wasn't removal for an Ulamog.
No, it wasn't.
No. It just has Annihilator 7.
But it looks like we are going to continue to play it out and see what happens.
Yeah.
So that's
It
fine.
doesn't have trample, so
So we get to the attack twice.
I need to remember this.
potentially.
I will choose this and this. These stay tapped, they are useless to me.
Which is funny because that Quattl is threatening death in 2 turns anyway, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it should have just been your creatures.
Although Cass is much more likely to draw an out for the Quackle than an out for a
14.
Ulamog.
So you sacrifice 7 permanents.
Please sacrifice 7 permanents. Not something you hear every day.
Not something you want to hear every day.
That's true.
It looks like Cass is doing the smart thing of sacrificing things that are tapped, so that won't be a tapping. So I think the first swing of this is not particularly game-ending, just because of these winter moons and orbs and static
All of the
orbs.
stuff. Yeah, the lands
the
don't
orbs.
block on Ulamog either. Just
No.
get rid of those. Don't worry, don't need them. Wow, that's a lot of board disappeared.
Then,
Yeah, it's much easier to see what's going on now.
Yeah. You can give back the city's blessing now, Cass.
Yeah.
On the top of my deck, but
It's not how that works.
No.
go there. Something
I'll cast Reverse the Orb.
Oh, whoa. Now what?
I've got Delirium, so I can
Go and get something
search
else.
my library
Let's
for-
go.
We get another big threat.
But I won't be able to cast another one.
yes, you will.
I will,
Yes,
because the thing died.
because she is dead.
We can cast multiple spells
So I
now.
can search for a creature.
Yes.
I'd have probably gone down the line of keeping a second creature about just to block another turn. Although
Cast another 10.
you'd have had to sacrifice it anyway the next attack.
Do we have anything in hand? Like, oh, is there? It
I mean, something
I'm not sure.
Something.
doesn't look like it.
No.
Okay.
Void winner. Because then it halves.
Okay, so
I
this
can't
just
even
Like whenever you
avoid winner.
Before... Oh dear, you can't even.
I'm here
You
all
really can't.
6.
I guess this gives fewer outs.
Can't cast.
Yes, yeah.
So I quite like this decision here. It's just, well, if one of your outs is an even spell,
That is all.
all right, sweet, that'll take it.
Game 2.
Right, on to the second game.
Big Ulamog.
Sammi gets the win in the way that she wants to.
To be fair,
Big,
those things did really
giant,
suck.
wriggly
Cast
monster.
it. Wait, no, I can't.
She still insists on referring to them as cute, and I don't get it.
It's
I mean, the one on the playmat looks cute.
yeah.
I'll give her that.
Penny over this time. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Depends on your definition of cute, I suppose.
Oh yeah, I guess beauty is in the eye of the in the eye of the
high.
beholder.
Yeah, I think I
In the eye of
I've
yeah.
just spotted a simulacrum synthesizer.
Oh, Henry's getting excited. Let's go.
I want to see this come down and just make a lot of very big creatures. Something's going on the
I
bottom.
thought that was just a 3-mana scry too.
outplayed.
That's pretty good as well.
I will. Let's say go. Whoa.
3-mana Scry 2 fixes your next 2 draws.
Yeah,
And there you go.
not to be scoffed at.
I'll crack this.
Yeah.
Go to for a Tundra.
Look at this
Yeah,
start.
so it looks
from
like
both
Cass
our
is
players.
going down this line of Tundra and then this Enlightened Tutor. Probably find a Mana Rock.
Be a soul ring, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to enlighten tutor on turn 1, it's probably a soul ring.
Yeah. That's the Tundra.
Oh, don't shuffle.
Don't shuffle if you're going to Enlightened Tutor. I could be wrong.
Maybe it's not happening.
Although I think the idea of Enlightened Tutor.
Oh, I should have just not made you do that. I'm in.
But hey!
Okay, we are doing it.
I'm sorry.
Thank
Yeah.
you for cutting my
Yeah.
deck. Now I'm going to search through it again.
I'm going to pick it back up again.
Love that. See if we were
So
right.
there's a nice slide of you can play the Soul Ring in another land and immediately cast your Simulacrum Synthesizer on turn 2.
Seems decent.
Big scorecards.
I love that guy.
But I think that's part of my love for this format. Yeah, here's the Soul Ring. I'm going to sacrifice my fetch land, find my dual land, cast my tutor, find my broken mana rock, and I'm going to do all that to cast a bulk rare that half of the players probably have never heard of. Although it's not a bulk rare, it's
it's worth a decent chunk, but
Oh yeah,
I still refer to them as like janky rares
Yeah.
because
I think
in
'cause we're
limited they
missing-
weren't
yeah.
I'm just going to use.
impactful. Oh, we're going Emery.
Oh, we're doing an Emery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a bit better. Yeah, I think if we had Big Score as its own set with the commons and uncommons, there might be more to go along with them.
Yeah, they were just a little bit out there on their
Yeah.
own, weren't they? It was
What have
still
we got
cool to
here?
play around
Yeah.
with them. But
So we've got Lava Spur Boots, which we can cast off the Emery.
is that the only artifact we hit?
I think so. I didn't quite see. They all seem to go in the graveyard in one pile.
I think I do. I think that was what the next step to make this a little bit
So
better.
Emery makes the.
Because at the moment I have none.
More round.
Wait, this spell costs one less for each artifact.
Yeah, so it's not quite affinity for artifacts, but it's affinity for artifacts.
It was literally this last one.
It always was.
Reading.
I'm not quite sure why it doesn't have affinity.
I'm also interested as to why Emery before.
Emery gives a bit more card advantage. So it gives cast 2 hands now, basically. Not that she didn't have 2 hands already, but
For some reason, I read that Emery sacrificed itself when
no.
you play your artifact. It makes complete sense now.
Yeah. Very strong card is Emery.
I remember everybody going a little bit crazy for it when was it Throne of Eldraine?
Yes, it was thrown.
When it first came out, and everybody got super excited, and because I mean I played standard but didn't understand high power constructed
Yeah.
formats, so it was a little bit lost on me. It's free boots. Ooh, Surge Engine. Didn't even notice that one slip into the battlefield.
Very, very cool card. I
Really
played a bit of the
annoying
standard.
card to play against.
Yeah.
Oh my word!
Yeah, I played that in standard in the Simic Cookies deck.
I played that in standard as well.
Yeah, with the deck I lent you, that you won the tournament with.
Oh, thanks for telling everybody.
Yeah, our resident constructed player Nathan.
Yeah, this is the main downside of me joining the Canlander bandwagon.
Yeah,
Is that I can no longer properly hate on constructed forms of magic like I
you
used
love
to.
it. You
Because
love
I'm really enjoying this one.
yeah. I can tell. Old 5 deck Nathan over here.
Yeah, exactly. I've been playing it for what, like
I will level up
4 months maximum.
it can't be blocked. And then I will attack with this.
Right, that's a big engine.
Very big engine.
Oh wait, for each.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. This is 8.
Very big engine.
So go.
Lots of horsepower.
And it's just unblockable.
Yeah, it's an unblockable creature.
Yeah, like this game's over surely, unless there's removal
Yeah.
for this thing.
So yeah, it loses defender and gains can't be blocked, and then next turn for 3 mana can become a 5/4.
Becomes humongous. Oh, speaking of humongous,
Yeah.
that's an actual problem. First strike and vigilance. Sammy's not quite dead to this surge engine, so
Not
the
quite.
the life gain from this is gonna
Yeah,
stay,
this surge
like stabilize
engine
to a point.
represents 9, 10 at the minute. So another artifact comes down, and I think that's a Kappa Cannoneer.
Ah, okay.
Although a Kappa Cannoneer has improvise, so you can tap these equipments.
It looks like we should be able to just get there from just slamming a couple of. Oh,
I will pay 7 life. That's not very sensible.
so we've targeted the sire
Yeah.
with a dispatch.
Which patch?
God, maths.
That
maths
patch.
Like a thing.
That patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this might just push it over the edge now.
Did you pay? Oh, you need to lose 7 life.
Yes.
So we pay 7 life for the ward,
Yeah.
and now, I mean, there's nothing to fear now.
It was 12. Yes, I can do math. And then I will play a simulate.
There it is.
Yeah,
It's
very
a
cool.
3-mana scry 2.
Yeah. That is a one ring.
Because nothing else is entering in this game.
Does it have? Oh, it can't be blocked, can it?
No. I will say go.
Oh no, it's not quite enough.
Am I just?
No, if Cass had made another artifact and leveled up the
It would be 9. 'cause of the
creature,
cards.
Surge
it would
engine.
be
Right.
the Surge Engine. It would be Exacxes, I believe.
I do think
But
yeah.
That's fine.
I'll do it.
that'll
I
do
will
it.
do it. We are 1-1, and we get to watch it all over again.
Can't be blocked.
Yeah. We get to watch this really cool deck
It's
again.
like 50 people. Why is it
So I think this is
It's go, go.
so Cass is relatively new to the format,
Game 3.
Yeah.
That's alright.
and I think she's found something that she very much is enjoying playing around with for sure. She's
definitely.
certainly looking for input on it. So if people have a look at this deck, I'm sure you would want to see the deck list. And I've got any tips or spicy includes. Spicier the better, I think. I get the impression from what Cass wants to be doing.
I could spew off a bunch of cards, but whether they're good or not is cards I'd want to play. I know that much.
I didn't put it back the last time I played it, but I will.
Hey, at least you know what it is.
Mox Emerald.
Yeah.
A lot of rules.
Brilliant.
Untap on turn 2 with at least 3 mana. That's
That's all
not
right.
bad.
That's all right.
It's pretty good.
That's not enough to cast an Ulamog or a Kozilek.
No,
We're fine.
it's enough to cast a Thought Not Seer, or well, not quite, but another land, and you can cast a Thought Not Seer. Is Sammi on Thought Not Seer? Now I've said that.
There she is.
Yes.
Yay!
I
So
really
Sammy
hope
could
that's
cast
exactly
Thought Not
what
Seer.
happens now.
Yeah.
You look at it like a right boss.
Just good at magic. That's what they say.
That's what they say, yeah.
Yeah. Who they are, I don't know. Are
Oh.
they wrong?
I've got a hilarious
Probably.
little anecdotal story about my family this week. So Kieran, one of our commentators on the channel,
Also, friend. I'd like to.
yes, a good friend of mine, sent me a message out of the blue while I was at work saying, "Your son has just come up to me and said, sorry that you're struggling at Magic at the moment." At which point I was like, "Why are you talking to my son?" Like, apparently my wife and son bumped into him and his son, and the first thing that Toby said was something along the lines of, "I hear you're struggling at Magic," which is just incredible. I love that.
Yeah.
Where he's got that from? Definitely me, Kieran. Definitely
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Definitely. I remember your son saying a very similar thing to me at one point.
Yeah. So what you don't know is that all I'm doing at home is just training my children to insult my friends.
Yeah.
So
That's what children are for, right?
yeah.
3. Path of Annihilation.
Ooh, I love that this card was bonkers in MH3.
Yeah.
And any Eldrazi
So
have tap to add 1 mana of any color.
it turns all of your Eldrazi into mana dorks
I gain 4.
and
Very cool.
makes 2 mana dorks for you. That also are
Oh, I create
scions. Spawns,
Yeah.
not scions, spawns. So yeah, you tap the spawns for mana, and then you sack them for mana.
Yeah.
Really
So
silly.
that's just 4 mana immediately.
Pretty good. Oh, and then if you cast big things, you gain some life as well, because it needed some
Yeah.
more text.
Of course it did. It wouldn't be a modern Magic card without
At least
million
5
lines of
lines.
text.
Yeah.
We were talking about Questing Beast the other day while playing a bit of Standard. And the joke's even funnier now that it doesn't have that many words on it
It's,
for a
all-
magic card.
But how long was it that we had Questing Beast being the card that was like, okay, this is a bit much,
Yeah.
and then what, a year and a half later, it's like, yeah, that's just normal.
Yeah, this is normal.
Take 3 damage.
Yeah, it is Palantir of Orthanc, a very cool card.
Yeah,
Although
we've definitely seen some cool
Yeah, we've
artifact
definitely-
cards.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I will say go.
I think we've talked about Palantir on the channel before. I think when
Exciting.
it was in Big Red,
That's
where
it.
it flipped.
Yes.
7 or 8 mana spells.
Yeah.
Paradise, Paradise.
It's always scary when you. It looks like Sammy's just saying, "Yeah, just draw some cards. I don't care." When there's no top deck manipulation, I think that's a little bit.
So my face one.
Don't know. When you're on 17, I'd probably take some damage.
Card and put it on the battlefield.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I will pass.
But I am also the kind of player that really hates it when my opponent gets to draw cards.
I love to draw cards.
Yeah, I want to be the one drawing cards. You not
Yeah.
not so much. We spoke recently about my dislike of Path to Exile, just because it's like, well, if I'm going to remove your thing, I don't want to give you something in return. I appreciate that there's some powerful cards that do this, but
Yeah.
speaking of powerful cards, we have a Time Twister.
Yeah, that's
That's
a good
all
one.
wheel.
So I put this.
You put your graveyard that into your library.
Into my library.
Shuffle it and draw 7.
Okay.
fresh start.
Cards. I need
Lovely. So we guys both get to just go back up to 7, and actually that's pretty. Again, this is a symmetric effect that's probably
Yeah.
helping Sammy.
Yeah, after
As
watching
much, if
Sammy
not
just
more.
play a bunch of mana dorks, I wouldn't necessarily want to give her a chance of drawing a big Eldrazi.
Yeah.
But if you've got nothing good in hand and it's your only option to
It looks
try
like
and close out the game.
it looks like Cass has got too many cards in hand. I think,
I think
what
there's-
Cass has done is put her hand to one side and kept her hand, and not shuffled that in.
It looks like she's only ended up with an extra card, though.
No, I think we've got a few,
2 extra cards.
so we are discounting down to hand
3
size. So that wasn't done correctly. So Time Twister, we've essentially seen an extra few cards.
Yeah,
that we
we've just
shouldn't have.
kept the hand from before.
I'll put that on top. Can I draw one? I will say go.
Yeah, I think Cass isn't doing exactly what her deck wants right now. There's
It's really bad, but it's really good.
very little going on.
It's I have an empty hand, now I have a full hand. Then you also have a full hand.
Shuffle Island.
I'm just trying to figure out whether there's a balance in hand, because that's what's needed.
Oh, yeah. Balance right now would look real good.
Yeah.
Attack with the 1/1 balance, although I don't think there's balance.
No, it doesn't look like
Could
it.
be wrong.
We've got an Enlightened Tutor, draw spell,
One. Wait.
Esper
There's
Sentinel.
a Esper Sentinel. There's a Soul Guide Lantern, it looks like. Very cool card. Expedition map.
2, 3,
Yep.
And some form of orb.
4, 5,
An orb.
6.
Yeah.
Primeval Titan.
Ah,
Yeah, this is the downside of
it's prime time
giving
again.
Sammy 7 new cards.
Yeah, when there's a lot of mana available, it's really not what you want to be giving Sammy. Is
No.
a full grip.
Tower.
The finding of the Urza Saga suggests Sammy probably also has.
Plane on Nexus.
Oh, I forgot that Planar Nexus exists.
The tower.
Yep.
Incredible. So we've got the Urza lands, all of
Yeah.
them.
All of them.
I'm gonna sacrifice an Eldrazi. I have 2 mana draws.
I don't know.
This is something that you played in Modern, right? Didn't you play?
I
Tron?
played a lot of Tron. I still would love to play Lotto Tron. It's just doesn't exist at the minute in the
Right,
format.
it's just
Unfortunately,
not a real deck.
no. It got beat out by Ugin's Labyrinth, I believe. Ugin's Labyrinth, Eldrazi Temple. You just got a lot of conditional ancient tombs,
Right, okay.
and having 12 lands that always make 2 mana instead of 12 lands that sometimes make 2 and maybe also 3.
Yeah. It's always been referred to as like one of the more broken things you could do mana-wise, right? But
Yeah,
no longer.
makes me sad.
Yep.
The fact that Tron's now referred to as the good guy of the format.
Good old fair magic.
Yeah, fair 7 mana on turn 3. Although weirdly, the last iteration I was playing didn't care about 7 mana; it cared about 8. So you played all the talismans as well.
Why did you want 8 mana?
That's just where your spells were sitting. Can't remember exactly what 8 mana spells you had that were better than the 7 mana ones, but
Yeah, must have been good ones.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Sammy
I'm
sat on a ton of mana.
a bit more than 8.
But we've not applied as much pressure as you might have hoped at this point.
14 mana I count for
Yikes.
Sammi at the minute.
That should be
I
enough.
can cast most spells in Magic.
What's the 15? There's a 15 mana Eldrazi, right?
There's a 50 mana Emrakul. And then there's a elemental that costs infinity.
I'm not interested in all of this rubbish.
Although that's an unset card.
I better be.
Yeah. I think it's just 15 mana Emrakul. Although this is where my Magic knowledge could be.
I will select the Retrofit Foundry.
Okay. Well, this is a slightly less fair card.
Yeah.
You talked about Tinker, right? Well, Transmute
Yeah, I did.
Artifact is coming in and
Non-pointed Tinker.
trying. It is just mana acceleration, though. We're just grabbing a Soul Ring.
Yeah.
But didn't we have a... Did we not have an Enlightened Tutor in hand as well?
I think so. I still remember seeing a Enlightened Tutor.
Right, let's listen to this on the next table.
87 mana. I'm going to cast Genius. 87 mana. 84 tapping. You draw 84 cards.
Pretty good.
I wanted to turn up the volume because
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
that's one way to end a game of Magic. Can you draw 84 cards, please?
Yep. Thanks, Helena. Thanks for speaking up at that moment specifically for us on camera.
Definitely no volume manipulation.
No, not at all. Storage lands. She loves them.
Oh, Helena loves a storage land. There's nothing I love more than having to put dice on my lands.
Yeah. To be like, later, this is gonna be good. I don't need it now, but later.
Draw a card unless they pay X for X's.
Expedition match.
So we saw some Esper Sentinel shenanigans in our previous match. We did see Helena's Boomer Control a couple of episodes ago as well, so we know what she's doing. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see her tap for 87 mana.
No, not quite.
I can only untap one non-basic land.
This old chestnut again. One land at a time. It's pretty much gonna get cast back into this. I don't know, because there's still a lot of mana. We're just not. No, it's probably not. Isn't going to hinder things too much. We are already at time on the round. And
Now we move into turns.
I don't see a very quick end to this unless Sammi can slam something rather large. The
Herald's End's not necessarily something huge.
It's just so fitting when that's cast as time on the round is called.
Yeah.
Colorless Eldrazi spells, so this is free.
Yeah.
Idol of the False Gods is
For the art, I
is free.
You can draw.
Oh, right, okay, it's a Sentinel trigger. Sweet.
3 and a green for Wampus. I have used colorless, so you don't get a creature.
We love Wumpus.
It's the card art that we used for Sammy's deck.
Yeah.
Did you recognise the one on the left, by the way?
I did. It's the alternate art, the simulacrum synthesizer.
So
I will attack you.
I think that's one of the hardest ones that we've had on here. But if anybody's going to know what that is, it's you.
Oh yeah. It costs upwards of 80 of our Great British pounds. 80 pictures of the Queen.
That's an impressively large amount of monies.
Yeah, for a 3-mana card that enters and scries 2.
Scry 2, yeah, right.
Love to scry 2.
And it heralds the end as well.
Yeah.
Which is all it did in the previous game when we saw it.
Now in my upkeep,
Okay, we've got an upkeep Enlightened Tutor.
Yeah, potentially.
So we are in turns, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Cass will get the final turn.
yeah, this is the one turn after 50 minutes.
And that's always an important one, isn't it? I'm always like, right, who gets the last
Yeah.
the last shout?
Who gets to attack with all of their creatures without having to think about dying on the crackback?
Exactly. This was another episode another match in our 26-person event here in Nottingham. I'm pretty sure every round we had at least one match going to time, but that's
Yeah,
not
every round
surprising.
went to time.
It's not surprising when we've got that many players. We do have quite a few players who are. The reason we've got big numbers is we've got people who are relatively new to the format, coming in and playing new decks, trying it out. I think the majority of people are really enjoying themselves though. We're still a growing
Seems
community,
like it.
which is insane. Very cool. Dragging people along.
Been some murmurs on the Discord server of people visiting the UK to see family and adding some days onto their trip because they want to come and play in Nottingham. Which,
Yeah, all you lot across the
very
pond
cool to read.
who are watching, Canada, US, just get on a plane. It's
Come
worth
play,
it.
come play some Canlander.
That's it. Come to Nottingham for a few hours,
Yeah. There's loads to do in Nottingham as well.
and you get to meet
Other
Henry
than
as
play
well.
Magic. Yeah.
I'd just stay at
That's maybe a downside.
I'll get an Ensnaring Bridge.
Okay. All right, that's going to slow things down.
Yeah, looks like Cass might be playing for a draw here.
I hate this card.
I love this card.
Oh my
Buy
goodness.
myself a little bit more.
Oh dear.
I played some of this in Modern.
That goes in the graveyard.
What, Ensnaring Bridge?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, George likes casting this thing against me and my aggro.
Yeah,
lists.
specifically you.
I think you watched me play the game. Were you watching when Ensnaring Bridge was played against me and I
Yeah.
top decked Rotting Regisaur? It's like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm slamming this guy.
Yeah.
Tolarian Academy. Speaking
Fair
of
and
George,
balanced Magic card. How much does this tap for?
a few.
A million?
No, just a few.
Just a few. At least 3. 5.
Yep. 6.
Six.
Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll tap this for 6.
Oh, here we go.
Blue. I'll use 1 to play a 4.
Oh, that's brilliant. So Cass quite smartly not tapping the white mana here, keeping that available for whatever you draw.
Yeah.
Then I will
Hopefully a
tap
removal
this
spell.
and use 1 for a Petersworn Sphinx.
That's another good one.
Cascade.
Cascade for 9.
It's still going. It's still getting non-land cards.
I'll hit a Mox Diamond. It will come into play.
Yes.
I will pitch a Marsh Flats.
That's not
Right.
particularly what you want to hit
Yeah.
off a
Not
9
ideal.
mana Cascade spell, but
Yeah.
Cascade into a 0 that doesn't really do much.
no.
Then I will.
Having said that, we are tapping it straight away. It does add a white, I suppose. We
It does
said
add
we
a
were
white. Is this Voyage Home that we saw earlier?
Drawing some more. It looks like, well, I mean, Cass has given herself an opportunity to draw into something that could maybe start taking over the game rather than just
Then I just have to
stopping Sammi from being able to win it.
play an Ensnaring Bridge.
I think we've got enough permanents now that Sammy's not
Yeah.
really got much of a route through anyway.
I'd say Cass definitely has the City's Blessing.
Alright, you've ascended now.
Yeah, I'll go to my end step. I will put a counter on this and I'll scry 2.
Are we going to Palantir or are we going to Thank? That's the.
Why have I not heard that before? Because
I've made that joke about 100 times.
You know, oh my word, yeah. And even the way you delivered it was like, yeah, I know, you've all heard this.
My favourite card of that type of joke is Mana Gate.
Now you have 5 cards.
Pretty sure
Man.
it looks like a gate.
A gate. Yeah.
Man or gate.
Oh,
Pretty
right.
sure it's a gate.
Shocking.
I tap this for 2 to cast a
You've got, we've got to amuse ourselves in some way.
Yeah.
It's funny how many cards in Magic people just have an automatic mini little joke associated with it.
Oh, there's so many cards. And there's so many that you just sit there and you go, shut up.
Oh dear.
I can't attack with either.
The next time you say Witch Enchanter,
I'm in this turn, so I can't attack.
I'm just going to stay silent.
Yeah,
I'm not going to answer your question.
yeah, you shouldn't. If I ever ask a question, there's a, I don't know, 60% chance that it's a setup for a joke.
Yeah.
That's why I have so few friends.
I can't tap back from mana though.
Yeah, that's the reason.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. I'm going to activate Ivy again.
Ah, yes, that hidden piece of.
Yep. The hidden text on Ivy again.
It's also a tutor for your scary things.
It's a tutor. Point it. Point that card.
Point Ivugan.
Don't point Ivy.
seven mana tutor. It's what's the planar bridge, is it? That's the one I remember from. Oh,
think
what
so.
set was it in? But it's like 8 mana, tap an artifact, tutor for something.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, World Breaker's just going to deal with Academy.
I believe the Wasteland dealt with the Academy.
Oh yeah. What's World Breaker going to deal with?
5,
Tundra,
6, 7.
probably.
I'm going to cast World Breaker, exiling this guy.
What was that guy?
Oh, it hits an artifact.
I will,
And that's hit the
now
Ensnaring
attack
Bridge.
with this.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Nice find. I see. My brain's very much gone into this game's going to be a draw. But
At this point,
players
it might not be.
players are still trying to find routes through, which is kind of cool.
Bye bye servo, and I'll take 6.
Huh? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll block that and.
We do have a Primeval Titan trigger.
Yeah. I think Sammy's just finding
Sammy's
some...
just
the
first two lands. we
First 2 lands.
Those ones will do.
Round 3. Then I'll pass it up.
On to turn 3.
Play an island. Play a talisman.
Yes, turn 3.
Yeah, Talisman ain't gonna help.
No, it's not looking good for our hero here, and it's very hard to... Both these decks are very cool, so it's very hard to choose which one I prefer, but it is the artifact one.
Yeah. I was gonna say which one's your hero, and I know full well which one's
Oh,
your
it's the
hero.
artifact deck.
There's always a little bit of like recency bias is definitely not the right term, but if it's a newer deck, then I want to see it do its thing.
Yeah. This One Ring's gonna come in pretty clutch here. Fog Sammy's last attack.
That's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll play a Soul Guide. I'll exile the Wasteland. Then.
Okay. Can we? Do we have any reach? We can attack in the air.
Attack in the air.
Okay. Yep.
I'll block the 4 with this.
We do have reach.
We do have reach.
I didn't see the World Breaker having reach.
I think you still want to attack here.
Yeah, I think it still makes sense.
Turn 4, but you have.
I'm just wondering whether there could have been more attacking. But no, there's not many creatures there. Considering how many
No.
permanents are on board, we don't
There's
really have
only
creatures.
3. It's the 2 that attacked
Wow.
and the Sentinel.
Alright, yeah, Resper Sentinel ain't gonna do much.
It's gonna draw cast a card or 2.
What have we got, Sammy? What have we
Seeing
got?
if Sammy can find a way out of this. Questing Beast, that's a way out of this.
7.
I forgot my alternate trigger, but who cares?
Right, yes, good spot. We did miss a trigger on the Palantir.
Like break me, I'll do.
Consigning
Whoa, no way.
target.
Consigning.
That's
So-
pretty cool.
When I cast it, I'll cast triggers
Hold
to
up.
those. So that's 2 target players.
The
manifest
cast
2
trigger
cards in the hand.
shouldn't
Each card
resolve?
manifests 2
No, it
cards.
should,
You
yeah.
manifest 2 cards, I'll manifest 1.
So, Consigned Memory counters a colourless spell.
3 cards.
But you can replicate it.
Yeah, so Cass could have replicated it, targeted the colour spell and the triggered ability.
I don't know whether there was mana to do so.
I don't know. I don't think
doesn't
there
look
was
like
mana
there
to do
was,
so,
actually.
actually.
Okay, so that explains it.
But I think having... It gives Cass 2 creatures, though, which is interesting play. Although, I'm assuming Sammy thought she'd be left with a 9/9 Kozilek.
But up to 2 target players each manifest 2 cards from their hands.
Yeah.
Draw 2 cards.
So you just choose just yourself?
Yeah, you can choose just yourself. You can choose your opponent if you want to.
But all that's going to do is draw cards.
Yeah,
They get
give
2
them
2s.
creatures, draw them cards.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. Clock of Omens
Oh, that's
with
a
the
cool
One
card.
Ring. Oh my goodness, we're going to draw some cards. We have artifacts we can tap to untap a ring. What can Cass draw? Because we do have a lava spur boosters on board.
Lava
so
Spur
we've got
boots?
haste enabler. Haste. Wow, I cannot talk.
You could potentially hit Kappa Cannoneer and then a bunch of other cheap artifacts.
One ring.
But
One ring.
really big Walking Ballista? I don't think there's a
But we've
huge
not got
amount
tons
here
of
that will...
mana.
No, I don't think there's a huge amount here that will
Play a mana crypt.
win us the game.
I will tap the Lava Spur and the Plantier to untap the One Ring.
We're doing this thing.
Yeah.
Drawing some more cards.
Find something.
See if we can find it out.
Oh, there's a Kappa Cannoneer in hand.
I don't know if it's quite enough, unfortunately.
We're going to need to find a lot of cheap spells.
Yeah.
One, two, three.
Have a George turn and
Yeah,
see
yeah.
how
this
many
is,
mana ups you can.
This is very much. Let's just tap and untap a load of things and see what happens. So Kappa Cannoneer, whenever it or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a counter on it, and it can't be blocked this turn.
So you need Kappa Cannoneer and 10 other artifacts.
All right, let's go.
Lethal.
Come on, Cass. And we have 1 mana.
It's doable. You could play some Moxes, maybe. Some Mox Opal in the list.
Do you know what? You know when we were talking about hitting that Mox Diamond being real rough?
Yeah.
We may well have needed every piece of every bit of mana we find. We found an Ornithopter. Come on, let's go.
Come on, let's keep going.
We have a lot of cards available to us as
Because
well.
you can keep making these cheap artifacts, use them to untap the ring and keep drawing more.
We must have close to just access to the whole deck.
Yeah, it depends whether you draw your affinity cards in the right order.
Yeah, and I mean, having not looked through the list in enough detail, how many free artifacts do we have? There's a few more.
Let me real quick change my settings on Moxfield. We have 11 0-mana spells. And then we have...
That's a lot. That is a lot.
We have 3 talismans, which give mana back.
Well, we've
Sol
got past
Ring.
that point now, because we've
Yeah.
just tapped 1 mana for a Skull Clamp. We've found an Urza's Bauble, though. And now we're up to 6 counters on the One Ring. We're drawing a fair chunk of cards here. I mean, still not looking likely.
No, with this Tolarian Academy in the bin, it's going to be a lot harder.
I will keep digging.
Here we go. I think this is the last. Is this the last roll? If we don't find enough, we need a couple more. 2 more 0 drops, and then we probably draw enough cards that we might be able to get what we need.
I mean, you need another 6.
All right. Well, we've got a Mem Knight.
That's up to 5. Another... I don't need another 10? Nope,
No.
I was wrong. No, another 6.
Yeah.
Knew immediately that was wrong.
Well, no, because it's a 4/4 to start, is it?
Yeah, so it's a 4/4 that makes itself a 5/5 because it has its own. It counts itself.
So it's currently a 9/9.
Yeah, so you need 10 other.
We are drawing more. All right, we're not quite as deep into the deck as I was thinking we were, to be fair.
Play a Moxo.
Right, well that's a Mox.
Play a Walker.
Yeah, there we go. That's another one of the zeros.
We get to roll again.
We also have. Yeah.
Okay.
That's enough. That's enough.
Is that like...
I can't lock that, and you
Yeah.
have... Oh, wait, no, you've tapped them, so it's
I
not.
can tap these two.
Go
Yeah,
again. You go again with
Tammy's
the
aware
One Ring.
that. Yeah.
So we just need 1 more.
The shoes do need to go on the. Are the shoes on the?
No, because they're tapped.
Oh, well, the shoes on. I assume the shoes were put on.
Sojourn's Companion.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's the
so we
soldier.
have enough now.
Yeah, they look like they've.
How big is he now?
It looks like they're on. Like they're like under it and have been tapped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, so there we go.
Oh, the Mox has equipped it. Oh my word.
Yep, we got there.
What?
We got there.
That was insane. I thought there was no chance of us getting there.
I was like, he's here.
I think there's just a density of these free spells and affinity spells that.
T1 to cast.
Wow. The One Ring's pretty good, eh?
Yeah, some could say.
Well, thank you so much for joining. That was a fun end to that one. Appreciate your time, Henry.
Yeah, no problem. It's been great being here.
We'll catch you next time.
Catch you next time. Press all the buttons.